or taking pictures. So there you go. Good morning once again to you, grade 5 Pahimis. And today we are going to have our Science 5, our first lesson. But before we go to our first lesson, I want you to check first. I want to check your audio or your microphone if it is working. But first, will you please thumbs up if you can hear me clearly? Yes. Thank you so much. Now this time may I hear, okay, let me see. Let's say Akiko, Elise, Raimundo, will you please turn on your microphone and greet your classmates? Good morning. Okay, go, Akiko.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes. So did you hear that class? Thumbs up if yes. Very good. So since we already tested our microphone and the audio and it is okay, we can now proceed. There you go. So how's your day? Is that great? Yes. So, class, if you're going to take a look around you at home, let's say, for example, who's with you? I know you are with your parents, you are with your siblings, and each one of you has its own unique characteristics. So try to look around your family members around your house. Yeah. So room around or look around. So compare it to yourself. Did you see the uniqueness of each one? Yes, of course. So do this one or do this way if it is yes. So each one of you has a unique characteristics, right? That is why it is said that, okay, let me share my screen first. Okay. It is said that every single person has its own uniqueness and characteristics. So as what I'm saying a while ago, you yourself has its own what? Unique characteristics. You are unique. You have your own skill. You have your own talent, and you can share that to the world, right? Looking at your seatmate or looking at your siblings, he or she has also its own or his or her own characteristics, right? He or she is also unique. That is same with matter. So matter has what? Unique characteristics. Or try to look for something around you. Did you see that? It has what? Unique characteristics. So let's say, for example, these two materials here. We have metal and a paper. So exactly different, right? Metal is, if you're going to describe, it's hard. The paper, it is soft compared to the metal. So they are unique. They have different characteristics. And we can turn that to what? For example, this one, the metal can be what? Turned into a kitchen utensils. And the paper, yes. If you remember in your art class in MAPE, you are what? Working on this, what we call origami. Yes, you form that into, most especially those recyclable paper materials, you can turn that into an origami rather, like a flower or anything you want to form out of a used paper or a colored paper. So that is some of the unique characteristics of materials, right? Now, yesterday, we have a pre-test. We did some activity and I asked you to get a chalk, yeah, a spoon, sponge. Okay, another, I asked you to get that one, wire, a garter, and a magnet with a nail. Okay? And there are some questions. And I want to give an examples. Let's see. The work of, okay, let us see. Let's get the work of, let's say, Aimer. Okay, there you go. So we have here the instructions. Number one, drop a piece of chalk. And the number two, get a paper cup and fill it with water. Dip the sponge into the water and then stretch a garter, bend the spoon slightly, then describe the electric wire, then get a piece of nail and place it near a magnet. So I asked you to write your observation in this form or in this table, on this table rather. So you said, Aimer, that the chalk, okay, when you drop it, it broke into pieces. And you say that's fragile. Well, that's one unique characteristic of a chalk, right? And then the sponge, you said, it gets like wet and it gets heavier, okay, when it gets what? Wet. And then the garter, you said it gets wider and it stretches. So that's the observation that you did yesterday while doing your pre-test or your pre-activity. That's right. So for the magnet, you said the magnet attract the nail. Then magnet can attract iron and material like nails. Right? So those are the observations that you were able to get from our what? Simple activity yesterday, your pre-activity. Now, based from that okay, activity, we have okay, so we have another thing to do here. Okay. If you remember in your EPP class, you have discussed about the different parts of what? The house. And one of that is, of course, your kitchen. So this time, I want you to go to your kitchen now and look for at least one material that you can see there. Okay? You can do that in at least 10 seconds. Okay, ready? Go. You may now go to your kitchen and look for it. Any material that you can get. Okay. So I think you're able to go to your kitchen now. So I want you to type right there, what material did you, I mean, you choose. You choose to what? To give us an example. Will you please type it right there in our on our chat box? Okay, for Angelica Hazley, yes, I for yes, kettle, pan, stove, rolling pin, that's it, plate, fork, frying pan, spoon. Okay, let us see. Um, Mia, will you please, yes, turn on your microphone. I will ask some question.
No, sir.
Okay, good
No
morning,
po.
Mia. So you said spoon. So a while ago, I am telling you that a person has its own characteristics, yeah, right? Very unique. So matter has also different characteristics and properties, and it's also unique. So you said spoon is one matter or material that you were able to what? Observe that is present around your kitchen. So will you please tell me what is the characteristic or the unique characteristics of the spoon?
The spoon can bend.
Can be bent. What else? What else?
The spoon can be used for eating.
Yeah, used for eating, can be bent. How about the materials? It is made of what?
It is made of metal.
Yes, made of metal. Very good. How about, okay, let's go to, okay, Aimer. Okay, Aimer, you said it's a rolling pin. Could you
Yes,
please
sir.
describe the characteristic of a rolling pin?
It's hard and it's And it's made out of wood.
Very good. So it's hard, right? Okay, how about Anika? Hello, Anika.
Yes po, sir.
Anika, so you said plate. So will you please describe a plate or your plate? What is the characteristic? What are the characteristics, rather?
The plate is hard and it is made out of plastic.
Yes, hard and made of plastic. So based from that observation, after going to your kitchen and looking for something, you were able to what? To identify the characteristics, okay, or the properties of the materials around your kitchen, right? So that is how we identify the characteristics. And knowing the characteristics and the properties of material, we can what? It can lead to what? Knowing the use of that. For example, a while ago, you said the plate is hard. So definitely, why it is hard or durable, you are using that for cooking, for eating rather. And then a while ago, Amer said that the rolling pin is also hard. Well, definitely, you are using that to what? In preparing food, right? So that is why the characteristics will lead you to what? To the use of that. Okay? So this time, we are going to have some of the yes properties of the materials, the description, and the examples. Okay, so let me go there for a while plus. I will present it. Okay, so these are the properties of materials. So aside from the examples that you have given a while ago, spoon, rolling pin, kettle, plate, so we'll discuss now what are the other materials that we can see actually around us and what are the properties of these materials. Okay, number one, so we have porosity. And porosity is the ability of a certain material to hold liquid to an or to a certain extent. So example of this is a sponge. So if you remember during your uh, your pre-test, I asked you to get a sponge and dip that into the water. And you said it was able to absorb the water, right? So that property is porosity, okay? The ability of material to hold the liquid or to absorb the liquid, right? So let us see. What other example of material that what can hold or can absorb water? Will you please give an example? Hannah Nicole, will you please give another example aside from sponge? What other material can hold water or can absorb water? Hannah Nicole, are you there? Or let's say Santara. Hello, Santara. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What other material can absorb water?
Cloth.
Cloth. Okay, very good. So that is the unique characteristics of a cloth and a sponge. They can absorb water, right? They are absorbent. So that's property again is called porosity. Next, let's go to ductility. So ductility is a property that allows us, a solid material to be what? Transformed into wires. Okay, example of that is, yes, that one, the one that we use in appliances or in our cords, you know. So that is ductility. Okay, let's proceed to number three. I want you to read that. Abam, will you please read number three?
Brittleness, a property of a material to be broken into pieces.
Very good. So another property is brittleness. Okay, that is, um, you know, the property of material that, yes, the ability to, I mean, the material can be broken into pieces. Example of that is the chalk. So if you remember, when you drop it, you observe that it broke into pieces. So that's the ability of, I mean, that's the property of material, which is brittleness. So will you please give another example? Okay, Carl. Okay, Carl, will you please give another example? What other materials do you think can break easily?
Materials
Yes.
that made of glass.
Yes, very good. So let's give a hand. So that is a material or materials that are made of glass. So let's proceed to number 4, elasticity. A property of solids to return to their original shape after being stretched. Example of that, yes, a garter. Especially girls, you are using that in, fixing your hair. That is another property. Number 5, we have malleability. And that is a property of solids to be what? Hammered into sheets. For example, a dustpan that is made of tin can. So definitely, out of tin can, you can form another material. Okay? You can use that in cleaning now, right? Number 6 is flexibility. And this is the ability of a material to be bent without breaking. So there are materials like that, right? So the hose can be used. Can be used an example. And then luster. Okay. So this is the ability of a material to reflect light. Okay. So I know you are using a mirror, especially this time that you are approaching the adolescence period. I mean, you are now in the adolescent stage. Most of the time, you are very aware or particular of how you look before you go out. You see to it that you are what? You look good. You are looking good. That's why you are trying to fix yourself in front of the mirror. And the reason why you see yourself, reflected, because it has the property, what? To reflect material. Okay? To reflect light. So that is luster. Next, magnetic. Okay, will you please read that one, Mia?
Magnetic. The ability to attract materials made of steel and iron.
Very good. So example of that is, yes, magnet and another metal. So yesterday, your activity, you used what? Nail. And then you said, Imer, that a nail and a magnet can attract each other. Okay, let's proceed to number 9. That is electrical. That is the ability to conduct electricity. So materials can have 2 or more characteristics or properties. A while ago, we used that as what? We said that another property of a wire is the wire that we use is ductility. But here, we can see that there's another property which we call electrical. And using that material, the electricity can pass through easily through wires. So that is electrical. And number 10, thermal. Okay, that's the ability to conduct heat. So example of that is a pan or a kettle. So that is why if you try to observe at home, mostly your cooking utensils are made of metal. Why? Because metals can what? Conduct heat and electricity. So definitely you cannot use wood for cooking because wood is an insulator. It cannot conduct heat easily, right? So the property of a material can lead to what? Knowing the use or the uses of a certain material. Okay? So those are or these are the properties of materials. So this time, okay, Okay, we'll have some learning tasks. So number one is this one. Using the given objects presented in the table, write as many characteristics or properties as possible to describe each object. So we have 5 objects on the left side, and then you're going to identify their characteristics or properties. Okay, choose the answers from what? The box below. Okay, let us see. Number one, Isabella, will you please answer number one? Okay, Isabella, what are
Yes,
the
sir.
characteristics or properties of a chopping board?
Hard.
Okay, very good. Some more?
Hard, strong, durable, and smooth.
Yes, can be smooth, right? There are some chopping boards that are smooth. That's correct. Durable. Definitely, you're what? Using that to chop your meat. So it must be what? Durable and hard. Okay. Number two, we have plastic plates. Okay, will you please try to identify it? To identify the characteristics or properties. Okay, let's have Marius.
Clear.
Clear. What else?
Smooth.
Yes, smooth. Very good. Those are also what? Some of the characteristics or properties of the plates. How about number three? Glass. Okay, let us have Hannah Nicole. Nandyan ka na? Are you there?
Yes
Yes.
po, sir.
Will you please identify the characteristics or the properties of glass?
Glass po, clear.
Clear. What else?
Smooth.
Smooth. Okay, very good. Number four, we have rubber band. Okay, so let's have Rowel class, ha? Hindi ko makita yung iba. Okay, si Jester. Jester, hello? Hello. Property of rubber band. Characteristics or properties of rubber band.
Elastic.
Okay, very good. Okay, and lastly, we have steel knife. Okay, Akiko. Akiko, what is your answer for steel knife? What are the characteristics or properties?
Hard.
Hard. Okay, very good. To give a hand, so your classmates were able to recite. Okay, next. Okay. Okay. Is to what? Go to another part of your house. So go to your living room. Name 5 materials that you can cite and write their properties and uses in the proper column chart below. Here, 5, write the properties and what are their uses. Okay? So right now, if you cannot access our Google Classroom, you can access our Google Classroom. There's a link there. You can you can enter there and just type the answer, right? For learning for the next activity, what I have learned. So you're going to check what you have learned. Okay? So just do this way if yes, thumbs up. Do this way if no. Okay? Number one. Let me go there. Okay, number one. So, were you able to describe the different properties of material? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, how about number two? Were you able to discuss the uses of the materials? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, how about number three? Relate the properties of materials to its uses. Yes or no? Okay, yes. Very good. So this time, let's proceed to our next activity. Okay. Next activity, you're going class to create a collage of the pictures of the materials found in your bedroom and discuss below the properties of each. Okay? So just attach your answers or to our Google Classroom. You can do that until tomorrow. So there's a deadline, but then you have enough time to work on this. Next, so you're going to go to your Google Classroom and click on this link below and answer by ticking the correct letter. Okay. So after this synchronous online class, you're going to proceed to our Google Classroom. So click that link and answer. And lastly, you're going to write a journal on your science notebook using the phrases below. I understand that. So what did you understand? So right there. Okay. I realize that. Okay. So it can be a phrases or I mean a few sentences, can be a paragraph. Uh, write everything what you understand and what you realize in our activity or in our lesson today. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. So were you able to see the uniqueness of materials or the characteristics of each materials around you? Were you able to see that? Yes. As what I'm saying a while ago, the same with you. As a person, as a kid like you have what? Your own unique characteristics, right? You have your own skill. You have your own talents. Actually, you can share that to the world. Same with matter. Matter has what? Its own characteristics and properties. And if you have some more questions, class, okay, please type it right there sa ating chat box. And we're going to answer some of your queries or questions if you have. Do you have? You may type it there kung may tanong. Do you have question? None so far? Okay, very well. So if you have no question, class, so thank you so much for your time once again. And see you next time to our like more exciting science lesson. And I hope everyone is enjoying it and remain connected to our line. Okay? Wala bang na-disconnect? Everyone is still online? Yes? Thumbs up? Very good. So lahat ay still connected. If you are like having some difficulties, please just type it through our chat box if there are some like problems connecting to our Google Meet. Okay? And a while ago, I told you that if you cannot access our Google Classroom, you can submit your output through the messenger. Okay. Anyway, we have another day to what? To discuss more on how to attach files through our Google Classroom. So that's it for today. I want you to greet um, a wonderful and amazing day ahead of you. And thank you so much for your time. See you next time. Bye-bye.
po, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po, sir. Thank you, sir.